What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to the fourth and final installment of my Worst Rides miniseries. As the old saying goes, all things must end. So today, for the finale, we're going over that's right, six vehicle categories. We've done the rest of them. But this time, the final six: vans, industrial, commercial, cycles, service, and a bonus. By the way, if you've watched the counterpart series Best Rides and Best Rides 4.0, which is linked below in the description section, you already know which category the bonus is going to be. But I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't gone back to watch Best Rides 4.0 just yet. So let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? The first category, the worst of the vans, goes to the taco van, also known as the Boxville. Now, the reason why I went with the Boxville is because stat-wise, it is the worst of the vehicles in the vans category. And there's also vehicles in the vans category that shouldn't be in the category, like the Bison and, of course, the Buffalo XL. I'll probably talk about that on Sunday. Back on topic regarding the Boxville. There's several variations of the Boxville. I'm driving around the taco van. Even though it doesn't say Boxville, it's still a Boxville. It's just also called the taco van. But you go to the Rockstar Social Club site, you pull up the stats for the taco van and all the other Boxvilles, exactly the same. And I have nothing personally against the Boxville. It just happens to be, in my opinion, the worst of the vans. And by the way, if you would like to have your very own Boxville as a Pegasus vehicle, it is $45,000 off the Warstock website. But there is a condition: you have to complete one of the Pacific Standard heist setups in order to unlock that particular Boxville. And no, you cannot currently purchase the taco van, even though it does spawn around Los Santos during the daytime. Moving on next to the industrial category. No, it is not going to be the Vapid Guardian. I kind of like the Vapid Guardian, even though it's very pricey for a truck, and there's not very many customization features. By the way, this is not my Guardian, it's Jeremy's. And here it is, the dump. That's right, the big giant dump truck, which spawns at the quarry during the daytime. Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So if you want to go and steal it and drive it around the map, you can do so. Or if you're rich and you don't really care about dropping $1 million, that's how much it costs via the Warstock website. It's also a Pegasus vehicle. Now, why did I pick the dump as the worst industrial? Well, it may look big, it may look intimidating, it may look like it can take a lot of damage, but none of that is true. Despite the fact that it happens to be the largest land vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online, I just personally don't think it's worth $1 million. Not only is it slow, not only is it very difficult to actually run over another vehicle with, it's also very easily destroyed with just one rocket. I know, I tested it, I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, one rocket, that was it? Okay, well, that's the dump for you. The next category on our list is commercial, and the winner for worst commercial goes to the Mule. And like with the Boxville, there's several mules to choose from, but they all have the same exact stats, which is why the Mule is the worst of the commercials, in my opinion. And there are actually two versions of the Mule that you can purchase from Warstock if you're interested. The regular version for only $27,000, and then the heist version, which has, it looks like a little bit more action on it, kind of a grill guard on the front. It only unlocks, though, after completing another Pacific Standard heist mission. So that's the way you get that mule. And that one's listed for $32,000, also on the Warstock website. Now, the mule's a lot of fun because you can get on top of it, you and your friends, and you can surf on it, technically ride on it down the road, like Jeremy was doing a moment ago with the Guardian. And you can also do that with the Boxville, and you can also obviously do that with the dump truck. So it is fun to play with others, friends, and crewmates. But at the same time, I had to pick out a worst in the commercial section. So after some debate, looking over the stats via the Social Club website, I finally decided just to bite the bullet and go with the Mule. FYI, I would like to hear your choices, your selections for the worst vehicles in each category: vans, industrial, commercial, bicycles, we're about to get to that in a second, service, and the quote-unquote bonus coming up in just a few. Moving into cycles now, bicycles, bikes, whatever you want to call them. The clear winner when it comes to worst ride is the Cruiser, aka the granny bike. Look, when it came to all the other previous categories we talked about today, vans, industrial, commercial, for the most part, I had trouble deciding which one was worthy or unworthy of being the worst vehicle. Because, some of them are actually fun. Like the Boxvilles are fun, the mules are fun, the dump can be kind of fun, even though I think it is very, very expensive. But when it came to the bicycles, it was no contest. The Cruiser is the clear, infamous winner because it sucks. It's only $800 at Pedal and Metal, but the BMX and the Scorcher and all the other bikes in the category of bicycles, way better than the Cruiser. It's just slower. You can't bike on it as fast as the other bicycles. You can't even jump on it like Jeremy's doing with the BMX right there. So yeah, I do not feel bad in the slightest about awarding the Cruiser, the granny bike, as the worst of the bicycles. The fifth category on our list is service. And this was another one I had some personal debate on. By the way, I did have help from Jeremy and Delinquent and a few others on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 going over the categories for the entire Worst Rides miniseries: 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and yes, 4.0. So shout out to all you guys that helped me make Worst Rides possible. Alright, so with the service section, it was also kind of tricky. I had to go over the stats and just think about it. Which one, in my opinion, would be the worst of the service? So I had to pick one. I went with the shuttle buses, the tour buses. The same thing goes. They have the same stats. There's some various versions of the shuttle bus, and you can purchase one over at Warstock for $30,000. I just think if you want to get on a bus and fill it full of people, you might as well just steal one of the Greyhound type buses. I think it would be a lot more fun than riding around on one of the shuttles. And now we have come to it at last, the sixth and final category of Worst Rides 4.0. The bonus is the emergency category. This one has the police vehicles, the ambulances, the fire trucks. So of all those vehicles, which one is going to be my worst ride? Well, it's going to be the police transport van. Now, why the police transport van, you ask? Well, because it's not fast like the standard squad cars or the Buffalo FIB, which is my favorite of the emergency vehicles. Look, if I'm going to steal a vehicle from the police, the one time, the Fuzz, the 5.0, it's not going to be the police transport. For one thing, unlike the police cruisers, which spawn when you get 1 star, or they happen to be near a police station, you can just go steal them, and by stealing them, you get 1 star anyways. But on the other hand, if you want to steal a police transport van, you're going to have to get the wanted level up to 3 stars, and then you're going to have to stop, you're going to have to jump into the police van, kill the cop that's guarding it, and try and get away and call Lester before the police shoot up your tires. And I know this to be true because it happened to me several times when I tried to make this video. I had several failed attempts before I finally got a police transport van that didn't have flat tires. And there you have it, Worst Rides 4.0. We went over vans, industrial, commercial, cycles, service, and emergency. Let me know below in the comment section what is the worst vehicle in each category. And while you're at it, if you haven't done so already, go back and check out the entire Worst and Best Rides mini-series.